The final race is almost here. It is the last, the 7 furlong handicap class 6. We're looking at number 4, Magic in the Making, a filly who's done very well in the past at this track and is probably going to benefit from coming back here, having been at Southall last time. Well, she ran okay, didn't run brilliantly, but it wasn't too bad at all. Usually gives her running here, and I think the return to this trip is most certainly in her favour. John Long's representative, David Probert, looking for a double on the night. Behind her, just coming towards us now, is the... I'm going to go number 8. Wait, we're just going to try and figure out this. I think it might be number 2. Yeah, I think it's number 2, yeah. Love Destiny, son of Lethal Force, Kevin Stott and Michael Harrington. We got there in the end. I also think it's probably got a fair amount to find here, actually, Love Destiny. Eased in grade today, but has been in pretty dire form of late and does need to rediscover that spark. But he has won here before. Behind him is number 7, Eastern Star, definitely a mare with a good chance in this. And it's amazing to think that she's 0 from 28 on the all-weather so far, considering she's run some valiant races in the past, particularly in 2 of her last 3 outings when finishing second at this track over 7 furlongs and a mile. Either trip is fine for her, and she operates very well under these conditions, so every chance of breaking that all-weather duck tonight. Behind her, that's number 5, Swiss Row. A first-time visor and Billy Loughnane, who takes the ride here, could be both sources of improvement. Been running at Wolverhampton most of the time recently, now comes here, but is well treated enough to have big claims if back on song. Right, I'm going to struggle quite badly, I think, with the next horse, because it's got a massive great rug on and blanket, and it's got a blue initials. We'll go with number 8, Rainbow Sign. I think it says MP on it, so we'll go with that. And that is Rainbow Sign, who won at Lingfield in August last year, but the last few months he hasn't really been in particularly good form. So I think if Rainbow Sign is going to turn things around tonight, then he's going to have to come up with something pretty special, because he looks, at the moment, one of the more unlikely winners. Behind him, that's Tony Newcomb's runner. That is Jolie's Legacy, the outsider of the field here, course and distance winner, but all the way back in October 2021. Hasn't run for 148 days and probably needs a fair bit more now to be a winning contender. Right, behind that one, all the way back to the blinkers that are in operation here. Just trying to make out which one that is. Number 1, Madrino. A veteran now and a former course and distance winner. Needs to find a bit off his current mark, but is now £8 lower than when finishing just 3 lengths off the winner over course and distance back in November. Right, just going down to post, that's number 3, Dreams Delivered, one of the shortest price horses in this race. A winner 2 starts ago at Southall over this trip, but he was never really going at Lingfield last time when looking for the double, sent off an odds-on favourite to do so. Surely has plenty of room in a mark off 0, in a grade of 0.55, particularly kept to this class, and Asheen Murphy does take over tonight, which is a big, handy, helpful thing. Hasn't had long with Mick Appleby. And if we can drop back to... I think we might have cut them all, actually. Number 6. We can drop back to number 6. There it is, Twilight Revenge, right in front of me. How did I not see that? A course and distance winner in November, but has not been in great nick since, so needs to get back on song, but is definitely capable of this kind of mark from Mark Usher. Right. Thankfully, I think that's all the runners in this final race. It does get very tricky here under the lights, so apologies for that, but hopefully you've managed to stay along with everything that I've been saying.
One more race to go at Kempton. It's a 7 furlong handicap. Sheen Murphy looking for another winner. He's on board the favourite Dreams Delivered at 6-5. Eastern Star Falls. Madrino 15-2. That's from 12-1. Madrino Magic in the Making 17-2 and 11-1 bar those. Thoughts here, George?
I'm going to go with Eastern Star to get off the mark and win a race. I felt last time over the mile she was seen to good effect. Ross Orion rode on that occasion. He stays on board, dropping back to 7 furlongs as a plus. And in a race which you might get a relatively easy time on the front end, I'm prepared to take the favourite on.
Can you see the money for Madrino?
Yeah, I can, definitely. I would have thought it's dropped down. They've popped the visor on to replace the cheap pieces, which is always an encouraging sign.
Okay, so money for Madrino, 8-1 on the exchanges, but it is Dreams Delivered who is shortening up at the top of the market, certainly on the exchanges. So for the final time pre-race, we will head to the man who I introduced at the start as often known as Roaring, sometimes brilliant, but to us he's just plain old Tom Bull.
Thanks, Rishi. Plain old is right, unfortunately. Thanks for that lovely intro. Not sure quite what to do now with that, to be honest. Looking at Dreams Delivered, though, for this last race, he was going to try and roar home, just like the roaring of the roaring Sheen Murphy, looking for his second winner in quick succession, following the most impressive victory of Timesius Frox in the last race. Goodness me, wasn't that something, in the feature contest on the night. He's got a very good chance, hasn't he, Dreams Delivered? He was very well backed last time when sent off the odds-on favourites, but nothing really went right for him. I didn't really feel that Lingfield was what he wanted last time. I think it all happened a bit quickly for him. He was never in the right position, didn't get a clear run. It was all over before it really started for him. So I think this kind of more galloping track is going to really help Dreams Delivered. And no surprises if he returns to the promise that he showed when winning first up for Mick Appleby, who's only had him for 2 starts. And clearly the market suggests that Dreams Delivered is going to deliver some more dreams for Connections. I've got a few more to go in. That's number 5, Swiss Row about to go. I'll give Swiss Row a chance. Billy Loughnane and First-Time Headgear, Visor to be precise. 2 reasons or possible sources of improvement here. And he's always really seen at Wolverhampton these days. But if he can conjure up a decent run from the back here at Kempton, you can see Swiss Row running a good race. Of the others, Eastern Star must have a good chance. Amazing, really, that she's 0 from 28 on the all-weather, because she's a mare who is consistent and usually runs very well over this course and distance. In fact, she's run twice in the last 3 starts to finish second over a mile and over 7 furlongs. Clearly conditions hold no fears for her. And with Ross Orion up top tonight, she's got to have a good chance of breaking that duck, but it is a slight concern that the daughter of Dylan Thomas hasn't managed to get that victory on synthetics yet, but hopefully Eastern Star can do that tonight. I'm just looking to see if I can see the Eastern Star, but unfortunately light pollution is such that I can't see any of the stars at Kempton tonight, except for Eastern, of course, in the gates. Right, last couple going in, 2 to go, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Magic in the Making gets on. Won the race last year, David Probert and John Long. She loves this track. She ran at Southall last time, ran pretty well, I thought, to be 4th, without shaking up any trees. Just seeing Twilight Revenge, having a little bit of a think about things, having a hop and a dance. A winner in November over course and distance. Suffered a poor run, really, when 5th of 8 in handicap at Wolverhampton last time. But back here probably needs considering. Many thanks to our caller for the night, Richard Hoyles.
So that's it, 7 furlongs, the Unibet non-runner, no bet all Cheltenham races. And they're off and racing. Madrino was a little slow into stride. Amongst those that show a little bit of early dash, so the pace isn't that strong early. Love Destiny and Eastern Star in the yellow and red have moved through to the lead, but several are taking keen holds, including the slow-starting Madrino on the outside of Twilight Revenge. So settling down, Eastern Star, keen herself, disputes the running with Love Destiny, dropping onto the rails. Rainbow Side is in 3rd early on. The pace is not strong. Swiss Row races in 4th place, just jostling for position Twilight Revenge on the outside of Dreams Delivered, who's in 5th place early on, as Eastern Star has upped the tempo and poached a 4-length lead with 4 furlongs to go. So Eastern Star leading from, in 2nd place, Rainbow Sign. Third, a neck away is Love Destiny as they just begin to string out. Dreams Delivered being ridden along in 5th place at this stage with Swiss Row, Magic in the Making, Twilight Agenda, Madrino and Jolly's Flyer. Eastern Star not so far clear as they head with 2.5 furlongs to travel. In 2nd place, Rainbow Sign. On the inside, Swiss Row travelling up strongly, switches to the inner. Dreams Delivered's now beginning to get going with Magic in the Making as well. Rainbow Sign still there, as out in the lead, Eastern Star, hassled by Swiss Row over on the outside. Dreams Delivered is trying to stay on now, and right down the outside, Magic in the Making. Swiss Row has got to the front. The lead is a length or so from Eastern Star and Dreams Delivered, and Swiss Row for Billy Loughnane is not stopping. Swiss Row it is who leads them home in the last from Dreams Delivered. Eastern Star was third, just ahead of Love Destiny, who comes home in 4th place.
Well, it would have been slightly uncharacteristic of a night on the all-weather without a victory from Billy Loughnane, and indeed he has landed the last with Swiss Row, who wins in a first-time visor and pretty comprehensively as well, seeing off the hot favourites Dreams Delivered, who once again has found a horse too good and has run pretty well, but has never really had a chance of getting to Swiss Row, who's been lit up by that headgear. In third, Eastern Star, another solid race, but she extends her well, I was going to say unbeaten efforts on the all-weather, but of course that's completely opposite. Her inability to get the job done. She's now 0 from 29. Swiss Row, though, is 12-1 winner. It's a big prize, isn't it, for the horse returning? He'd been at Wolverhampton mostly recently, but has enjoyed himself at Kempton tonight and has done that in some style. On the inside, always in a nice posse. Can often pay not to be on the inside at Kempton. We've seen some fairly uncharacteristic results at the track tonight. Those coming from off the pace have done well. Those on the inside haven't done badly. And you can see that Billy Loughnane is just trying to humour and cajole Swiss Row into the bridle and quickens up past Eastern Star pretty easily. And Dreams Delivered is the last challenger, but really he never looked like getting to the winner, who has pronounced himself as a well-handicapped individual on this effort and has pretty much won hands and heels to finish off proceedings here at Kempton Park. As you can see, just sitting in behind Eastern Star is Billy Loughnane at this point. And as soon as the cutaway comes, goes to the inside, gets that clear, uninterrupted and unfettered passage through, and has done that really well. I'm just seeing if there's anything from behind. Magic in the Making landed this contest last year. She's run creditably again, but it all happened a little bit quickly for her, I think. Maybe she needs to come down a couple of pounds in the handicap. And Madrino and Twilight Revenge, quite disappointing, particularly Twilight Revenge back at this venue, but he didn't really look like he wanted to go in the stalls and maybe had similar ideas about the race itself. Other than that, not much to take out of it, I think, apart from